there's a snowstorm here. So I was just outside with the broom and I'm brushing off snow from the rabbit run. There's snow building up and I don't want it to collapse in on the chicken wire that kind of makes it up, so it's getting heavy. I make sure things aren't getting too heavy out there with the snow. And I'm in here thinking about power and my generators. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna run my generator, my gas one, again, and I try to do that every month now. So making that a thing, keep it running good and pretty much just keep it running good. I heard that you don't want to keep them running. You don't want to let them sit because the gasoline, it will gum things up and the gasoline sits, and you don't want to have old gasoline as well, so you want to keep good new gas and premium gas. So I have premium gas that I'm stocking up on, and propane I'm stocking up on. I want to get another generator, a propane / gasoline generator, so I have that too. And I have this wood stove, so this will keep the house warm, and I have wood in case the grid goes down. And my grow lights, so I want to have all these hooked up on solar panels. I got solar panels out in the yard right now. I got to finish wiring that stuff up. I'm now setting it up. I got 4 batteries, and so I got to make the connections for the wires and then wire that all in and see how much that powers here, and if I can get all these grow lights on that. And I want to get another one. It's a Windy Nation 400 is the brand, and I'll probably get another one as a backup. So I have a propane heater. This is a 20,000 BTU Mr. Heater, and it runs off these propane tanks, and I'm going to stock up on more of those. I got like 5 of them right now. The other thing is water filtration. I am also buying more Berkey filters. You can never have enough. The Berkey and the ProPure. So there's another company called Berkfield, I believe it is, and it's the white ceramic filters. You want to have a stockpile of those. Alfalfa hay I just started stocking up on, and that's for the rabbits, so I'm gonna have that, a bunch of that. And so it's like $8 a bale, and I'm getting them at a local supplier right here in town. And she assured me that they weren't sprayed with any chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, so that can stay organic, and that's the biggest thing for me with food. The eggs, I have my chickens out there producing. They are the Sex Link. I have Isa Browns as well. So I have 3 groups of chickens right now. I have my Sex Link, which are laying, half of them are laying and giving me like this many eggs a day, and the other half haven't even really started laying yet. And then the Isas, when those are grown, which are little chicks right now, that'll be another dozen eggs a day, 14 eggs a day. And then I have my 3rd group, which are the black Jersey Giant hens, 4 of those, and then I have 1 breast. So a breast chicken is a heritage breed that is like an all-purpose. It's argued to be one of the best all-purpose birds on the planet. It's got blue feet. It's the one I have left from my original batch of chickens 2 years ago. And it also has marbled meat. So I'm trying to incorporate that as well as the black Jersey Giant hens and an Isa hen and a Sex Link hen with the black Jersey Giant rooster I have 2 of. In the roosters, I saved the 2 biggest roosters that I grew out for my meat birds, and I'm gonna, use a crow collar to hopefully make it so they're not loud, and try to get one of them to breed in that 3rd group with the mix of hens, and that will give me chicks in my own line going forward. So I'm picking, my thought is I picked the best of the best, and I'm gonna breed them all, interbreed them, and then I'm gonna have my own line going forward with however that works out. The Isa and the Sex Link, they are arguably like the fastest egg layers like in production, and they're also big birds where they're gonna be large for meat too. So I looked for that, and I wanted that with the egg production, the large size, especially of the black Jersey Giant, the roosters, and picking the 2 biggest. So you're picking the strongest genetics, and it's going to make the largest lines going forward. That's the idea as well with the rabbits. So I'm picking the biggest buck when I'm picking my new bucks for breeding. and it's snowing. There's a snowstorm, and it's pretty cool actually. The whole idea of prepping in the long term, when you get to that level, it's homesteading, and that's where it goes. You can put your preps away and have all your stuff, but you got to get back to the way that we really are supposed to live, and that is holistically in the cycles of nature. So make all your systems work sustainably and regeneratively in the way that you do things, and use your time now in the ability to prep up on things like water filtration, the essentials, seeds, the solar panels to power the lights to grow food indoors. I think that that's going to be really good going forward, is if I can have the room just like this room powered off of, say, wood heat in the winter, and then the solar panels. Because in the summertime, I figure I'll be outside planting in the garden and building the in-ground greenhouse and all that, and I'll probably have that too set up for next year, as long as I can get the materials. And right now I have the lights and I have the solar panels, so I should be able to keep this running with wood burning in case of grid down and, you know, World War III. Things have gotten pretty well covered. It looks like about a foot, maybe a little over a foot of snow. You can come out here just for a minute. I want to talk about a couple of little things. This is my fence. I built this fence out of pallets. You can see here how I built the latches out of wood, like slips of wood, and they pop out, and then I can slide this right out of the way. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it's okay. I like it like that. Over here is my station where I do my processing. Down here is the guillotine for the rabbits. That's actually a hopper popper. That's another method of dispatching the rabbits. I don't use that. I don't like that method, so I use my guillotine. I would use it if I had to. And that's the blade for the guillotine. It's attached to a weight, and I lift that, and it slides through the channel here and acts that way. These are the kill cones for the chickens. So you put the chickens in here upside down, and you cut their neck, remove the head completely instantly, is the way I do it. And then the blood buckets you can put down here and catch the blood if you want to. The rabbits will hang here, and this is where you do the skinning, and then I do the processing here. And here is propane and a burner for the water pot for the chickens. So the chickens gotta be dunked in the water for a minute at 150 degrees Fahrenheit to loosen up the feathers with the heat, and then you pluck the feathers. I do that. I pluck them here. I don't have a plucker. They're like $400, and I just haven't bought one. I really like doing the rabbits, and I like the rabbit meat more than the chicken. It's quicker to process a rabbit, a lot quicker than it is to do the chicken. So I'll usually do 2 chickens so 2 chickens will last 2 nights, and then the dogs also eat, and 1 rabbit will last 2 nights. So 1 rabbit's a lot quicker, and I like the rabbit meat better. And the rabbits, they peel back and the fur peels off like a banana, is the way that it's said, and it makes a lot of sense when you get used to it and see how that works. Over here is where I'm keeping my alfalfa hay that's under these tarps right now. See there? I've got 4 bales. I'm gonna get another 4 tomorrow. I think tomorrow, with the snow. It's kind of heavy today, but tomorrow, and then I'm gonna lay them here, and I want to get another row here, and then a stack a row on top, and then probably stack another row on top. So I got a few trips to make, and I want to stock up heavy. I'm probably gonna put pallets underneath. I have a few pallets over here still, and I want to have pallets underneath to separate them from the ground so they don't get wet at the bottom.
and then cover it all with tarps, like I have this tarped right now. But once I get it all full and filled in, I'm gonna tarp it completely. Everything is cold and frozen. And here's the animals. Take a look, see at them. Some chickens running around in here. Rabba dabba dabba. Eating on their alfalfa right now. Pellets, I'm weaning them off of pellets, which is what would go in there, in that little cup or container. Their water bowl's empty, so I gotta fill that up. Chicks, baby chicks, growing up good. Put their roost bar in. They haven't jumped up on that yet. It's an ore. Over here, there's a chicken in here. A couple chickens, few chickens. Then my New Zealand rabbits. Chicks over here are the sex link. And these are the silver fox. I got one brown one. Where is he? He's over there, back there, kind of hidden in the bunch there. I'm excited to see what that one is. I hope it's a male buck. I want to get another buck in here, and I want that brown one to be it. We'll see. I got 2 new batches of kits, little babies, in these boxes back here, so there's a bunch of little babies coming in now.
I'm getting ready today to take these cannabis, 2 of them, and I'm gonna move them over into this other grow room where I gotta still do work, but I'm gonna just for now get them set up in here with one light so I can switch the lighting time to 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and start budding those 2, and just leave 2 for making more clones or whatever. I'll leave them in veg, a couple of them. I'm not sure which ones yet. I still gotta figure that out, but I'll figure it out, and then leave a couple in here with optimal light for vegetation mode, and keep those going. The clones are still going really good. Down in here I got these bush beans now that I just put in here, and they're all actually coming up nice, it seems. I got more out there, and everything else in here I'm letting grow in thicker now. I'm gonna stop trimming back as much as I have been and really let it thicken up for the next few days to a week, and then harvest it again. But I mean, I harvest in here daily for myself, for my own consumption. Down here is my well, it's a dog dish, and over in here is worth mentioning these fruits, so the lemons, and I have an orange tree on the way. It should be the seeds. Yeah, it wasn't the tree. I ordered the seeds, so I'm gonna do oranges, because it seems like I can't find an orange seed in all of the oranges that I buy from the store, the organic ones. So I ordered seeds for that. Gala apples, Fuji apples, and Granny Smith apples. I gotta look at those. There's a good chance they may have sprouted out, so I'll look at those and see if they're sprouting yet and get them in dirt. And then these cells are all full of different things. Peppers, I got to thin this and get a few of these planted out now into a pot. And that's a second generation of the Caribbean Red habanero hot pepper, which is over in here. There's a few of them still on there. Down in here is my seeds that haven't sprouted yet with this new method I'm trying to seed start, is not using any waste. The pepper patch. So this is where I just moved some peppers from the other room and a couple rearranged out here. Now with this light lower than the rest of these lights, it's giving the peppers more light, and I'm seeing if that works better for them. I'm thinking it will. So we'll see how those grow out and keep them going. I just packed some more dirt in and around them. The bases, you know, the roots were showing a little bit, like that one kind of is. I got to put more dirt on that. So that's happening a little bit with the pepper plants. I got to top that up. And that happens with the cannabis too, I noticed. The avocado leaves and pepper plant leaves are not to be fed to the rabbits. Sure, there's some other stuff too, but those ones I read up are particularly toxic. I'm not even canning yet, but I have the stuff, so I went ahead and bought it. I got the cans, I've got lids, I've got the pressure canner, and I've got canning books to teach me what the heck to do so I don't blow stuff up. But I wanted to mention all that because I really started hardcore prepping only this past like couple years, and I just wanted to accumulate all these things. So think about all the things that you're gonna need if the grid goes down right now and never comes back on again. If you got the resources for generations indefinitely, and you got the money now, buy all the things now, even if you don't get around to setting them up or doing them all yet. Like I'm just now setting up the solar panels that I bought last year, just because I've been setting up so much and just taking my time, enjoying the ride. And the same thing with like canning. I just haven't done it yet, but I know that I'm going to be doing it. And that's where I'm going with that thought is like, you got resources now while the grid's still up and the lights are still on and fiat money's still a thing. If you got it, use it and buy all the assets that you're going to need for when this stuff doesn't, for when this power grid goes down for good. Some other good preps are like, just thinking zip ties, buying like bulk amounts of zip ties and cordage. Like you have big packs of cord so you can tie things up. Strong stuff. You have parachute cord. Gorilla tape. Gorilla tape I found is like, you can see in my walls, everything is taped. I mean, I got tape on the plastic, all this stuff in around here, so I use that a lot for a lot of different things. That's what it was. Okay, so I forgot about something I was going to mention. I'm going to mention it now. Seed saving is going to be a big focus and something I'm going to stay super mindful of from now on and going forward. And apples and lemons and oranges, if I can find the seeds. It seems like the oranges I've been buying from the store, I haven't found any seeds in them yet. But all that, everything that I can, all those seeds, I'm going to save them and put them away. The organic foods that I still buy, which is very little now, just like fruit, seriously just fruit, until I got my own fruit growing, which is going to be really soon. Then I'm just done completely from buying anything at all from a grocery store. I'm going to grow it all. I got the animals, I got bulk preps, like rice and beans and flours, oils, salt, honey, that kind of stuff. So I got all that bulk preps that I'm eating and consuming organic. For what it's all worth, that I can trust as much as I would be able to, or more than I could trust anything else. It's labeled organic, it's supposed to be organic. But my thoughts, it goes deeper because, what kind of water are these facilities using and what kind of residue is being left behind on the machinery? What's in that? What kind of chemicals were used to clean? And is going and transferring onto the food you consume when you buy these things, even labeled organic. So there's that thought in mind, and that goes, I think deep layers in like that, and which has led me to where I'm at. So you kind of can understand and get an idea of why I do things in the way I do to this extreme level, and this is my nature, and this is where I find my peace. So there's that, and I was watching City Prepping earlier, and he mentioned in a way where you can plant and seed your environment. So going outside when you're going down trails and say you got bug out routes and you just putting seeds in the ground. It's the idea of almost like guerrilla gardening, where that's where you throw seeds just anywhere and everywhere to have food growing everywhere, not just on your property, which is like a form of redundancy. It's being food resilient. And I thought of even like an extreme way of just having like wild rabbits, but my own rabbits, taking my rabbits in some way at some day and letting them see if they can have a colony out there outside of my perimeter and be kind of wild rabbits, so that they're almost like we're gorilla seeded in that same sense. And those are just the things we can do. So plant food everywhere. Take all these seeds, your seed saving, and all the seeds you got. Nothing should go unplanted. You should have a pocket full of seeds at all times, like a side pocket, just full of all different seeds. And everywhere you go on your journeys, you should be just throwing them in the ground. Everywhere. Shh, don't tell anyone. But you're just throwing them in the ground, seeding everything, because it's food. Go downstairs or wherever your breaker is for your power. You just flick it off. And see how long you can go. Do for like a week. And see all the things you need and what you don't have, and how you're going to get those systems running and get those things that you need with that power off. It's a good trial run. It's trials. On the topic of preps today, I was just thinking of dog food, because I just bought some and I'm going back for more bags. So your local Pet Supplies Plus should have this brand, which the way I did it is I looked for the best value per pound for grain-free dog food. And what I found was Professional brand. It's a lamb and lentil red bags, 28 pounds for like 30 bucks. And that's literally the best value I found for grain-free. Now I know the dog foods, there's organic, and I would love it, but it's just one of them things where it's expensive for organic dog food. And I'm trying to get my dogs, eventually they'll be eating just the animals. They're eating them now too. They're eating carcass and the guts and all that, the fur from the rabbits and the chickens, and dogs can digest all that. And as long as the bones aren't cooked, because that's when they'll splinter, you want them to be uncooked and they're like chewy.